TJ Crawford is the one that introduced Love Doug to Big Business, right? They were a tag team outside of Big Business. And then it almost seemed like the alliance between Brad Hollister and Love Doug became stronger, and TJ Crawford and Love Doug were at odds. But right now, it looks like all 5 members are all on the same page. But nevertheless, here we are, Wrestling Open versus BioPro, the 3rd match in the series on the main card, and it's TJ Crawford standing arm in arm with Brad Hollister.
A sight that I honestly was not convinced that I'd ever see ever again. But here we are, TJ Crawford and Brad Hollister on the same exact page. We knew we'd be saying that in 2025.
You ever heard the expression, one bad apple can spoil the bunch?
100%. It's fair. It's a fairly well-known term.
One graduate with a rotten attitude can spoil the reputation for the entire school. And I am certainly worried about the influence that Jay.Tunis is going to have on Brett Mettro.
So it's Jay.Tunis,
It's
right?
Jay.Tunis, and it used to be Teal Steel Brett Mettro, but he's decked out in black.
That's why he's the lesser Brett. That's why he's not as good as BRG, if you ask me. And if you asked me a year ago that Brad Hollister would be embracing the fans of Worcester, Massachusetts, I would have called you crazy, but here he is in the corner, pandering to these people, dropping Jay.Tunis on his face.
He's the upgrade.
The upgrade.
It's like a URL. His full name is http://www.j.tunis.
Interesting. Okay. That's
If you're watching on IWTV and you have multiple web browsers open, use that hashtag WrestlingOpen to let us know if that domain is still available.
Let me take a look right now.
Well, Jay.Tunis with a cheap shot to Brad Hollister. These two, believe it or not, actually went one-on-one in June of 2024 in the parking lot of Wes's Rib House.
Oh my God!
And I think Jay.Tunis experienced the beating of a lifetime. It has been a number of months in order for him to get to a position where he can officially graduate the Beyond Institute of Professional Wrestling program. And he might regret that. He might want to go back to training for a few more months after the beating that Hollister is going to give him here tonight.
If I was in the position that he's in right now, I would definitely regret this decision. Holy crap, I would have quit pro wrestling if this was the case.
Wow, if my brother was Hammer-Tunis, I would have never gotten involved. Of course, Hammer-Tunis is going to be competing in tonight's main event against Sammy Diaz. Stetson Ranch banned from ringside, and if Hammer-Tunis loses that match, he's done here at Wrestling Open.
Yeah, it's so funny that we bring up Hammer-Tunis, a former tag team partner of the man in the ring right now, Big Bacon, Brad Hollister.
Oh, they had New England independent wrestling scene on lockdown as the closers for a number of years.
And here we are seeing Brad Hollister continue to have the independent wrestling scene here in New England on lockdown with TJ Crawford as they continue to lay waste to the lesser Brett known as Brett Mettro.
What would Wrestling Open landscape look like if Brad Hollister brought Hammer-Tunis into Big Business instead of TJ Crawford bringing in Love Doug?
It would definitely set up an interesting dynamic between not only Big Business, but also the Stetson Ranch as well.
I wake up and count my blessings every day that Big Business and Stetson Ranch never formed an ultimate alliance. As we get back to the in-ring action, TJ Crawford staying one step ahead of Brett Mettro. Mettro sidelined for 4 months with a brain injury, cleared by doctors. In that period of time was working on his body, working on his strength. He can bench nearly 500 pounds.
So can I. I can do that too.
A third in the series of videos allegedly coming to IWTV where we see all of these unbelievable feats of strength from BRG.
It'll be called...
Brett Mettro just got wiped out.
It'll be called the best of Brett.
And there's a cheap shot from Jay.Tunis. A chop block. Brad Hollister never saw that one coming. And Brett Mettro, is he thankful that his partner created an opening for him? Or is he pissed off that his partner took a cheap shot? I mean, that's certainly not something that Thomas Santel would teach at the Beyond Institute of Professional Wrestling. Maybe you would if you were there last night.
I actually did display how you should do that in a match, so maybe he did pick that up from me. Who knows? I'm just honestly shocked. Like, Brett Mettro, at the end of the day, it's about winning. Just focus on winning. Stop with the chivalry. Stop with all being the bigger man and everything. Just try to win the match. Oh my God, bad planning. Are these two even on the same page right now? It really says something when TJ Crawford and Brad Hollister are on the same page more than any other tag team here. Jay.Tunis.
5 minutes have elapsed in the time
Brad
limit.
Hollister.
5 minutes remain.
Tag into Brett Mettro. Kind of looks displeased with Jay.Tunis' actions. That's just a bad tag team partner right here. He should be focused on winning, not on if he disagrees with his partner or not.
A lot of egos involved in the professional wrestling landscape, and you wonder how Brett Mettro feels starting to get booed against somebody with a lot more tenure and honestly a lot more popularity in Big Bacon Brad Hollister.
And the leg gives out.
Serious situation in the ring. Gonna wonder if referee Scott Robinson is gonna be calling for the bell. TJ Crawford trying to will Brad Hollister back up to his feet. A lot of damage done with that cheap shot from Jay.Tunis.
Absolutely.
But this is where the inexperience comes into play. Mettro couldn't capitalize, or maybe had a crisis of conscience. But nevertheless, Hollister continuing to fight back. Oh! We saw Mettro got wiped out with a shoulder tackle earlier. You know that he must have been festering because he just plowed through Big Bacon.
You can only imagine what that knee injury is doing to Big Bacon right now.
Can I ask you something? When you're in a match and you're hurt, that must throw you off your strategy, right? Are you thinking about, oh, I have to fight to survive, or is the pain radiating and that taking up your concentration?
Well, we talk about Ryan Clancy defeating me this past Monday. The thing that,
What a combination here!
in all honesty, is still taking me out to even today here on Thursday, I still am not medically cleared, is the fact that Ryan Clancy did a number to my leg. So right now, I can't say that I'm not feeling for Brad Hollister right now, as he has a single leg crab displayed on him right now by Jay.Tunis in the dot part.
A potential submission predicament. We saw a hell of a combination. This team dubbing themselves Bioshock. I believe they actually hold tag team gold in other organizations throughout New England.
They better be careful with that name. They could, you know, it is a video game after all.
Well, I think they might go as Future Shock in other organizations, which was Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly's tag team, and those are big shoes to fill.
They got a lot of lawsuits on their way if all those names are trademarked.
Oh, a back body drop from one knee. That just goes to show you, even with one leg, you cannot count out the power of the veteran Brad Hollister.
There's a reason why he was Wrestling Open champion for 13 months, and now TJ Crawford
Ooh!
showing why he is a world-renowned athlete here today, taking Brett Mettro and Jay.Tunis to the limit right now, kicking them both in the face.
Certainly a situation of everything these guys know came from TJ Crawford, one of the assistant coaches at BioPro, but I highly doubt that TJ Crawford has had the opportunity to teach both these guys everything that he's learned in his storied career. 2 for the price of 1, jacking your jaw. Looking for that silver bullet, no, instead. An Eye of the Hurricane, impact to the back of the head. And we know, again, with the history of head injuries, that's a vulnerable spot for Brett Mettro. He can put as many muscles as he wants on his body, but that's something that can always be targeted.
Especially with the kicks that TJ Crawford delivers, he's in a very susceptible spot to be knocked out once again.
Wow, Mettro, though, had that scouted. Look at the power on display. Able to slip through the back door, shrugged him off. Ducks the clothesline attempt. Oh, my God, what a collision.
Just nails TJ Crawford to the ground. He's practically stunned at this point.
And what the hell is this?
1 minute remains in the time limit.
We're down, BioPro, we're down 0-2 against the Wrestling Open team. Tonight on the main card. Oh boy, big surprise. I guess the nut doesn't fall too far from the tree with the Tunis family, huh?
In all honesty,
And Mettro just getting hung out to dry. Thanks for coming. So pissed off I broke the bell.
The time of the fall, 9 minutes, 28 seconds. Winners of the match and winning the series officially, 3-0, TJ Crawford and Brett Hollister. Big business.
I can't imagine how the rest of the BioPro students feel about Brett Mettro right now, costing them
give me a break.
a clean sweep.
The betrayal from Jay.Tunis here.
Well, I'm just saying, he could have easily toughed that one out. He had TJ Crawford where he was. Why did he have to go and tag out? That was poor strategy on Brett Mettro.
First of all, everybody, give it up for Brett Mettro.
No.
That kid actually had the guts and the nuts to stay in the ring with big business and didn't go running like a coward. But speaking of cowards, last week something happened that doesn't happen too much. I was pinned in the middle of this ring by DJ Powers. Trust me. DJ's voice, DJ's voice, DJ's voice, DJ's voice. Nobody else is when DJ's around, I'll tell you that much. So DJ makes you fucking drive. DJ makes you fucking drive. So DJ, next week, you want to mess with me and Love Doug? How about we have a little rematch and I wipe your moist blemish off my record? Cause big business don't lose.
Stern words from Brad Hollister. Looking to get some ring time with DJ Powers. We'll see if the Wrestling Open officials make that one official for next Thursday.